have beaten Nottingham Forest 3-0. Not just beaten Nottingham Forest, but absolutely destroyed them. I have to say, not a good first impression from Ange Postecoglou. And it was a very dominant display from Arsenal. I never felt like Forest were going to score. I feel like Arsenal was so defensively secure. Like Timber, I just don't ever see people get past Timber. I feel like Timber goes under the radar because he's so good in so many games and people just don't get past him. But Gabriel Mascara looked phenomenal. How on earth was he £13 million? Arsenal just looked so good defensively. And I thought in the second half going forward, obviously Forest gave them a bit more space, but they looked quite good in that second half going forward as well. I feel like they started a little bit slow, but I always felt that Arsenal were going to win, even if they weren't at their fastest. But they grew into shape, they grew into the game. Obviously, a lot of players are playing together for the first time, and I think that's normal for them to grow into the game. And what was so big about Arsenal today was there was no Saliba, there was no Havertz, there was no Saka. This time last season, if those three players were out, it would have massively impacted Arsenal. And Odegaard came off. Odegaard, Havertz, Saka and Saliba, you could argue, four of Arsenal's five best players when you look at their squad last season. Those four went out because Odegaard went off. Those four out, and you didn't notice it. You didn't notice it. And that is what Arsenal's summer was about. It was about addressing their depth issue. Madueke was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Their Declan Rice that could come off the bench. That's crazy. He's a player, so good. Mascara, you didn't even notice Saliba was missing, which is crazy. In fact, Mascara on the ball, wow. Eze's there. Gyokeres is there. Gyokeres isn't about what he does all game and isn't about being pretty. Gyokeres is about scoring goals. And if you give him what he wants, he will score. And he showed that today. And he's got 3 goals for Arsenal. All of Arsenal's summer signings were making an impact today. You were seeing Arsenal squad depth. They were loads of big players injured and they didn't miss those players. Whereas last season, they would have missed those players. And this is why Arsenal are, people talk about the loss to Liverpool and they weren't great versus Man United, but this is why Arsenal are genuine title contenders because they have the depth now to lose a few players and still be good. Now, Forest looked very poor, obviously going 1-0 up helped Arsenal. But they were phenomenal. And this is what's crazy is I was looking at them.
Martin Zubimendi. What a performance that was from Arsenal's £60 million signing. And Andrea Berta deserves huge praise. Huge praise. Look at the summer signings today. Zubimendi brace. Eze assist. Victor Gyokeres goal. Mosquera masterclass. Coming in for injured William Saliba. And he does not look out of place. Does not look out of place one bit. And Arsenal, Mikel Arteta today flexed his muscles when you look at the squad depth. Look at Arsenal's bench today. Trossard comes on, gets an assist. Martinelli actually looked good today, right? They have got some players in there now on that bench. Declan Rice on the bench. This is, of course, without Kai Havertz, Saka, Saliba. 3 of their better players, 2 of their best players. We've got a lot to get into. We're going to talk Zubimendi. We're going to talk Arsenal in general. Madueke, is anyone out there still doubting this guy? I told you all he would be a success. When you look at the difference between Martinelli and Madueke was skinning Williams, absolutely skinning him. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. The international break is finally over. The Premier League is back. We've got Tottenham West Ham later. We've got Chelsea Brentford later. We've got the Manchester Derby tomorrow. We've got Burnley Liverpool tomorrow as well. So make sure you go down, drop a like on the video. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Arsenal fans, 93% of you Arsenal fans that watch the videos and the streams on a daily basis have not subscribed. So please go down, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts. Arsenal bounced back after that defeat against Liverpool in very, very, very good fashion. And I want to talk about this Arsenal bench before we get into the actual lineup, before we get into the actual match reaction. Look at this bench, guys. I'll be honest with you. Arsenal are ready. Martinelli, Trossard, Wanyeri, Declan Rice, Lewis Skelly, Piero Hincapié, Max Dowman, Ben White. That bench is a top 4 side.
Back after the international break and the Premier League is back and Martin Zubimendi is going to change people's lives. plenty of talking points in this game. Madueke's brilliant performance in this game. Gyokeres scoring his third goal in the Premier League, of course. And Eze mastering that left side. There is plenty of talking points. The depth of Arsenal is dangerous. And people ask me, why did I title this video as Arsenal are dangerous? I'm going to tell you all about it. But before we go on, I need your help. Hit the like button underneath the video. Subscribe to the channel. If you are new, this is Footy Judge Mode. Turn on the notification bell, of course, to get notified when we go live, of course. But listen, I'm going to say this is one of the most convincing wins I've seen from Arsenal lately. And the reason why is that I think that Arsenal were so much in control of the game and the pace of the game. Odegaard got out injured, no problem. Nwaneri coming on. Moreno playing for Declan Rice, no problem. I thought he had a great performance. Saka's out. Saliba's out. It's his first game. But no problem. Mosquera stepping in for Saliba. And Arsenal look defensively as solid as ever. No problem. Mosquera for 12 million is a steal, to be honest with you. There is no one that went in for him other than Arsenal. A masterclass, of course, by the Arsenal board. Of course, and by Berta and Mikel Arteta to land this defender that played like seamlessly next to Gabriel without any problems. They look like they have been playing together forever. And that is one of the things about Mikel Arteta this season. It looks like he has his depth. It looks like he has his weapons out there that he can slot in one, take one out, which is what we've seen today in the midfield. I'm going to just say something. Zubimendi, apart from the 2 goals, which is the highlight of his game, are the 2 goals. Martin Zubimendi today dictated the tempo of this game.
Arsenal has the most complete squad in the Premier League. This is not even a debate. When it comes to a squad having the required readiness to win the Premier League here and now, no club has it more than Arsenal. This is tough for me to admit as a Liverpool fan. Look at this Mosquera. He came in for Saliba, and the defensive level has not dropped 1 bit. They are still maintaining that high defensive level. Which other squad can boast of this? Even Madueke, that I've doubted the signing throughout. Up to now, I'm still doubting it, but my God, this guy is putting a strong case against me. He's saying, brother, you watch and you see why Arsenal signed me. You say you don't understand why they signed me. You see. It's scary. Every position, they have two players that can come up and do something. Every position. I always said that this Arsenal defense is the best in the league and the best in the world for me. They have played 4 games so far in the Premier League. They have conceded only 1 goal. And that 1 goal they conceded was against the Premier League champions, which is fine. Who has a better defensive record? I always said their problems were creativity and the offense. And now with this Eze at the left wing, problem. Are you seeing some of the passes, some of the touches? There was 1 touch he gave to, was it Merino? I say, my goodness. Martinelli would say ACL if he tried this one. Eze has come in and done exactly what we have been saying. We're saying sign Eze. You solve your creative problems and your left wing issues. And it is showing. I didn't even know you can be...
The football was beautiful. They were dominant. If you want to look at the statistics of this game, they tell you... Sometimes stats don't tell you the full story of a game, but they had the majority of the ball. They had all the XG. They had 16 shots to Forest 5. 5 on target versus Forest 1. They created 5 big chances in the game. That's really significant, okay? The only maybe negative for Arsenal is they missed 4 of those 5 big chances today, which I think would be frustrating in some regard. It really was a 4-5-6-0 performance overall. But they dominated the game in every single facet, whether it be physical, passing, chance creation. They were so much better than Nottingham Forest today. And Arsenal demonstrated why they're in this title race. Arsenal demonstrated why they're a serious outfit. And one thing that really stood out is the strength in depth. Declan Rice rested because the Champions League football starts. Saliba out injured, Saka out injured, and I'm going to forget some names. But you're bringing on Martinellis and Trossards with 5 to 10 minutes to go. Eze in the team, Madueke in the team, Gyokeres, Zubimendi, Norgard, I think he might be another name, out injured, not in and around the team. Mosquera coming in and looking like he's played in the Premier League for a decade. The recruitment from Arsenal this summer has been amazing. It's given them an improved first 11, and the strength in depth is still there. And what Arsenal did today, and we're going to get into the individuals and why they're so dangerous in a moment, but what Arsenal did today, which I think is so potent, so worrying, so concerning for rivals is that they killed the game off in a way last year they used to drop points. 21 points from winning position.
First of all, Martin Zubimendi. Zubi. I'm fuming, innit? Can't lie, I'm fuming. You know I'm fuming. Zubimendi. Zubibula. The controller. The conductor. The pace setter. The pacemaker. It's mad. As I said, I'm not one of those fans who sit there and say Zubimendi shit and whatnot. As I said, I feel like for me, even though Liverpool missed out on him, like I still think we could have done with him, even like on a rotation thing with Gravenberch. Yes, Gravenberch is amazing, and I think he's a wonderful player. But I also think Zubimendi and Grav would have been wonderful as well. And I think it's fair to say that, man. If you look at some of his stats today, 37 out of 43 passes completed, 3 shots, 2 shots on target, 2 goals, 1 chance created. It's just, 10 out of 10 performance from him. Honestly, a 10 out of 10 performance from him. And he was absolutely wonderful. Obviously, I'm getting these stats off of Squawker, innit? So, shout out Squawker and that for the stats and that. But yeah, Zubimendi was absolutely everywhere. In terms of his distribution, gets the switch to progress the play. Arsenal are moving the ball faster, and that is because of Zubimendi. I made a point that when Arsenal signed Zubimendi, and if you go back and look at my Zubimendi video when he did sign, I said Zubimendi is someone who's going to make a lot of the players better for Arsenal just because of the speed he moves the ball at and the way he's able to conduct the ball at the right pace while not often losing the ball as well. And yes, you could talk about maybe some of his deficiencies off the ball when in maybe a high-octane game, he might not be the first choice, but Jorginho was very pivotal in certain seasons for certain teams.
One person I want to give my praise to, and I'm very, very, very impressed by, is Mosquera. Have we got potentially, not only are we talking about Saliba regen, but this brother is almost like a carbon copy of Saliba. Listen, he'll have his own qualities, but I was very impressed. A lot of people have been speaking about whether Spanish League and the Premier League will he adapt, bro. But my word, has he got the qualities for the Premier League? He's a good reader of the game. He's quick. He's commanding for a young centre-back, bro. And he's always seems to be in the right places at right times. And I looked at him and I'm like, yo, man, that's my man of the match today. I'm looking at the game and I'm like, wow, man. People can look at Madueke, people can look at other players there. I looked at the game and I thought, Mosquera, he looks the real deal. And it is early. And I'm saying to it is early because he will make mistakes. He's very young centre-back. But boy, he looks like he's tailor-made for this, bro. He's enjoying it. He's taking it in. And I feel like for me, he's almost like, listen, it's not a rubbish Forest team, so you can't really say, oh, it's Forest. But generally, like, he just was in the right place at the right time. Deflections, blocks, interceptions.